Please open the Sutra. Turn to page 11 in the volume. Midday Business. Please look at the scripture. Kittagaba addressed the virtuous one. All are within it. There are such kinds of hells. Their number is infinite. Such refers to those items mentioned earlier or previously. Avsai hell, Abhi hell. What was previously mentioned in the previous section? Fixed. Of the hells. Names. Why are there so many? What's the reason? We can just imagine it now. This world. The attitudes of sentient beings who create the karma for hell. So here, we especially need to understand clearly the point about hell. It is all due to karmic cause and effect. The retribution spoken of in the scriptures, we need to understand their meaning. When talking about the darkness of night, we understand the retribution it will encounter in the future. All these are the true facts. It's absolutely not that the Buddhas or Bodhisattvas made up these things just to teach and transform sentient beings, to urge sentient beings to behave properly and cultivate goodness. We are mistaken. Such thinking goes against the true facts. So we must always remember what the Buddha has taught us, the principles of the universe and human life. This fundamental principle the Avatamsaka Sutra talks about. Everything is manifested by the mind and transformed by consciousness. And it also tells us all phenomena arise from the mind's thoughts. So whatever you think in your mind, that's the kind of reality that manifests. All appearances and circumstances are not truly real. Why do we say it's not real? Because it's changing moment by moment. How could it be real, even though it's not real? If you remain in this state, you'll experience suffering, happiness, worry, and joy. That's real, that's not fake. But after awakening, all these feelings disappear. That's when one truly understands. As for karmic retribution, whether or not there is karmic retribution, there still is. The feelings from the good game, they're gone. This is what Buddhism teaches. To cut off afflictions means this. It doesn't mean the appearance of afflictions is gone. It's not that the karma of afflictions is gone, but that the feeling of affliction is gone. In the Heart Sutra, it talks about Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva. That's a state of profound wisdom when practicing the perfection of prajna. This is about using profound wisdom. It's about saying that the five aggregates are all empty. Do the five aggregates exist? The five aggregates refer to our real world, which always exists. Though they exist, they are empty. That's why it's often said, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Form is not different from emptiness, emptiness is not different from form. Form means existence. Emptiness and existence coexist at the same time. Emptiness and existence are one and the same thing, not two separate things, so appearances arise from the essence, which itself is empty. This is what it means to truly benefit from it. When emotions do not arise, that's when you attain great freedom. It's nothing. Sometimes you use it. Sometimes you use it. Sometimes you use it. That is to say, within this, there is absolutely no deluded discrimination or attachment, none of that. Then your experience becomes free and at ease. But if you deluded discrimination and attachment, then even within your experiences, you will inevitably have all kinds of feelings, pain, pleasure, worry, joy, and so on. If you create karma, how could you possibly avoid facing the consequences? Once we understand facts and true nature things, from now on, we will no longer create negative karma. So when you step into the Buddha recitation hall, let go of everything, body, mind, and the whole world. Recite the Buddha's name all the way to the end. Only seek to be reborn in the land of ultimate bliss. As the ancient sages said, if you can just see Amitabha, what worry is there about not attaining enlightenment? Of all things in this world, only this one matter is truly real. Everything else is illusory and not worth getting caught up in. It's not worth keeping those things in your heart. If you still hold on to other things in your heart, if you keep calculating and comparing, what you create is karma for samsara. So, the mind of samsara that creates the karma of samsara. The 6 realms, the 3 evil paths, and all kinds of suffering. Girls want to be thin. This kind of obsession just goes on and on without end. There's really no need to do such foolish things. This is something we must truly understand. Next, Kidigaba Bodhisattva tells us again about the 22 kinds of hells. Let's look at the Sutra text. There are also the hells of mutual exchange. In these hells, the suffering is truly to the extreme. The wailing and howling never stops. There are the cries of trudging, the cries of being divided up. In popular Buddhist imagery, there is the hell of fire dogs. There's the hell of fire horses, fire oxen, fire mountains, fire stones, fire beds, fire coolness, fire shadows, sawtooth, skinning, hidden blood, burning hands, burning horns, barbs, fire objects, and iron houses, and fire wolves. These were just casually mentioned by Kidigaba Bodhisattva. There are a total of 22 types. The interchanging hell. In the Gama Sutra, it talks about the 8th month grade earth hell. The 4th and 5th are both called the interchanging hell. The scriptures often tell us what kind of karma leads one to fall into this hell. Morning meetings, food, harboring such intentions, committing all sorts of evil deeds. That's what leads to this hell. It's also said that when one's evil tendencies are very strong, even the slightest provocation in speech can trigger a reaction. In other words, if things don't go their way even a little, they immediately lose their temper. Committing all sorts of evil acts leads to the interchanging hell. The trekking hell. The hell of filth and urine. These are all the result of committing evil with one speech. There are 4 types of verbal karma. Well, nothing enters the mouth as food, and as for the rest. Committing this kind of verbal karma leads to the trekking hell. So the punishment is lighter in that region. Elder layman Li Bingnan mentioned this place in his lectures. He spoke about it with deep emotion. When he was young, he was chivalrous and upheld justice. Back then he didn't care about hell. But later, seeing the hell of filth and urine, he found it unbearable. In this hell, filth and urine are boiled, and you suffer inside. This was too much, even for him who faced mountains of knives and forests of swords. When he saw this, he was afraid. It's the same kind of hell. In the contemplation of the Buddha Samadhi Sutra, it's also called the Black God Hell. In the commentary by the young Dharma Master, it's explained very clearly. They are all in this hell. 1 day and 1 night. The suffering experienced during that time is beyond calculation. This hell exists because of the ignorance of sentient beings. And this includes Buddha's disciples as well. In other words, it includes us too. Introducing the Dharma to others? If you misunderstand this intention, that's a mistake. Explaining the Dharma as non-Dharma and non-Dharma as Dharma. Breaking precepts if the offense isn't serious, if you don't know to repent. This hell awaits. It's not like the usual hells. This is what the sutra says. Here, it's an elephant. Inside the hell, all these animals are actually manifestations. And this elephant is covered in flames. If the elephant goes mad, when it goes on a rampage and attacks people, its strength becomes immense. I have ways to defend myself. So the elephant, when it goes berserk, can kill people. The sutra often says, what does this symbolize? People in the world. Enjoy drinking and making merry. Getting completely drunk every time. And losing all self-control. They commit killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, and lying, harming sentient beings. After death, they fall into this hell. The hell of river dogs. Later, it talks about hippos and cattle. The situations are all very similar. Millimeter Han. The sutras say that in the world, some people raise silkworms gradually, and in the process of raising silkworms and making bamboo slips, many lives are killed. So-called monastics do this to cultivate compassion. That's why they don't eat the flesh of sentient beings. They can't bear to eat the flesh of sentient beings. Same with clothes. If you're wearing leather clothing, it's no different from eating their meat. You are wearing the skin of sentient beings. How could someone with a conscience do that? In summer, wearing silk is the product of silkworms suffering, just for this one piece of clothing. How many silkworms had to die? Just for you to wear this piece of clothing. As Buddhist disciples, whether monastic or lay, we can't bear to do such things. Simple clothing is enough to keep you warm. Why use silk? Why use fur and leather? Buddhism teaches and transforms sentient beings. It is reasonable and understanding, not unreasonable. For those with weak constitutions, extremely sensitive to cold, if they can't stay warm wearing fur, there is an exception. In such cases, permissible to wear it. So today, the references mostly mention two situations. One is being ill and physically very weak, and the other is old age. When your resistance is weakened. For those over 70, it's said that their resistance is weakened. There can be exceptions. It's permissible to wear leather clothing. But if our bodies are healthy and strong, and we have this resistance, wearing these kinds of clothes, it's no different from wearing a corpse's flesh. Usually when people commit these acts, they just think it's normal. They don't pay attention at all. How would they know that the consequences could be so severe? If you don't read the scriptures, you wouldn't know. It's only when you study them thoroughly that you realize. Fine horses and fine cattle are the same kind of thing. The whole body, it's all fire. Enduring these things, the suffering of fire beasts, respecting the elderly. When you're attacked by them, it's like being bitten by dogs in there, trampled by horses, gored by cattle. Your whole body is on fire. Millimeter. The 9th is the volcano. The 10th is the firestone. In the Sutra of Revelation, this is called the hell of many sufferings. Earlier, we saw that the false mountain has the same meaning as this. The next one, the tiger charging hell, is the same as the iron bed we talked about earlier. These are all punishments for those who lived in seclusion, punishments for sexual misconduct. The 12th is the beam emperor. This beam refers to iron beams and iron pillars. People are made to cling to these. Just like the iron pillar punishment we mentioned earlier, where people are roasted. It's exactly the same. The harmonious sound hell is the same as the iron sound hell we talked about earlier. This iron vulture. Its beak is extremely sharp, specially designed. For 7 years, it gouges out the eyes of drunkards. So this is also a fiery punishment for men. People live in this world. Life is very short. Every thought and action, every deed you do, you don't think there won't be consequences. If you think like that, you're mistaken, aren't you? Every thought and intention all bring about karmic consequences. Let alone the actions of speech and behavior. Number 14. The gathering of elegant speech hell. This is also the case for us. Lying mouth brings about karmic retribution, 80 great calamities. All are retributions for the sins of speech. The skinning hell, also called the hell of peeling skin. And in some scriptures, this hell is called the Great Scroll. The skin is peeled off and rolled up. This hell is mostly for those who kill living beings. Taking the skin of living beings? Taking the lives of living beings. This is the karmic retribution they receive. To put it another way, how do our actions lead us to suffer this retribution in the future? We must not always urge others to do things. Do not do to others what you do not wish for yourself. Always keep this in mind. If I don't want to suffer something, I absolutely shouldn't impose it on other beings. And this doesn't just apply to people. It applies to all animals as well. Honestly, these animals are really no different from humans. They just have heavier karmic obstacles and were born as animals. We are only a little better off than them because we were born as humans. If we commit extremely heavy sins, in the future we could also become animals. How would that be any different from being human? They cherish their own lives just as we cherish ours. If someone kills us, we feel resentment and want revenge. It's exactly the same for them. If you bully or hurt them, they also feel resentment and a desire for revenge. So why create enmity and hatred with sentient beings? Once you understand this principle, you naturally won't dare to harbor evil intentions or think bad thoughts. You won't dare to commit bad deeds. But as a person living in this world, the bad habits we've accumulated over countless lifetimes are very strong. We can't control ourselves. And on top of that, there are external temptations. They're constantly tempting you. With outside temptations, how could you not create bad karma? That's why the Buddha taught us to use the power of concentration and wisdom to subdue demons and resentments. This teaching is extremely important. So, what is wisdom? It's seeing the law of cause and effect and karmic retribution. Clearly and thoroughly, this is wisdom. When faced with circumstances, if your mind remains pure and unmoved, that's the power of concentration. With concentration and wisdom, only then can you control your own afflictions and bad habits. You don't let them flare up. But just relying on control alone is actually quite difficult. You must turn your thoughts around. Diligently cultivate. This means shifting your attention. This is the right way to think. Single-mindedly aspire to the path of goodness. Help all sentient beings achieve enlightenment. So, we must always reflect on this. We should often contemplate the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. How did they do things? They set a great example for us to follow. When you resolve to learn Buddhism, great compassion with vows. You want to help as many beings as possible. The more, the better. Seeing a place of practice, you vow to save all beings standing with hair up. But for this kind of undertaking, the right conditions, both internal and external, must mature. If the conditions are not yet ripe, and you force yourself to take on these responsibilities, it will feel forced and unnatural. That would be a mistake. The Buddha tells us in the Sutras, even if you make grand offerings, it's not as good as diligently seeking true realization. This means that if the conditions for helping sentient beings aren't mature, we should first focus on cultivating ourselves. Once the conditions are mature, then we can give ourselves for the sake of others. All Buddhas and Tathagatas have demonstrated this for us as an example. Look at the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss. Amitabha Buddha established his practice and attained enlightenment there. He universally saves all beings throughout the vastness of space in the Dharma realm. All sentient beings are able to attain Buddhahood equally.